In this video, we're going to do the shell stitch. Unlike the other stitches, this time we're going to start on the right hand side of the thing, again by putting in our little anchor stitch to hold it. Whoops, that didn't catch. Our buttonhole stitch at the side to anchor it. Sorry about that. In it goes. So it's nice and tight to start. We're going to do a Brussels stitch or a buttonhole stitch across, slightly wider than normal because each one is going to take a shell. So we're going to go across with a single buttonhole stitch to the other side. Again, there are variations with the shell stitch depending on how many buttonhole stitches we put in it. So when we get to this side, we're going to do our twists going through that. So we start off by doing our Brussels. Now we're going to do another one into that same loop over the two threads, and we're going to do, putting it in nice and tight so it anchors it, and I'm going to do another 2 or 3 into it. 3, it can be 3, 4 or 5, but once you decide how many you're putting in, you need to keep it. I'm going to leave it with 3 on this one. I go into the next one. Again, we do our buttonhole stitch, leaving the loop nice and loose. Into that same loop, we do our buttonhole stitch, put it nice and tight, and do 2 more into that loop. So you're getting this shell-like effect going up to the thing. Again, into the next buttonhole stitch, into the loop, we do 1, filling the first one nice and tight, 2, 3 side by side, get that out of the way, keeping it nice and even. Tension is always that's the second one, and the third one, and we'll finish one off at the end there. One more loop. Sorry, it's twisting. If it does start to twist on you, just let it drop, and the thread will untwist again. At the end, we're going to do again our buttonhole with 3 buttonholes inside the loop. One, 2, 3. To finish off, as always, we're going to do our wraps. You're going to do an extra wrap this time because you need to bring it down that little bit further because of the length of the shells. Going back, we're going to do our single again into the point between the shells. So we're doing a single coming back, into the loop, and just pulling them so they sit nice and neatly under the shell you've already done. Again, our wraps at the end to finish that off, and we're going to go back making shells. Let me just snip that off out of the way. Going to make our shells going back across on this side. So again, in, leaving a slightly bigger loop than normal, and 3 buttonholes into each loop. Into the next loop. So this again has is a 2-row pattern. You shell from left to right and you do a single buttonhole coming back, sitting over the loops. So you have them ready for the next row. And you can see it gives a nice shell. You can see the kind of the shell effect of this stitch.